actually the big news, I would say, in special operations, although it's
Yeah.
like silly to call this big news. But it's funny, people who don't even have any interest in special operations were texting me, and it's because truthfully, everyone knows Rob O'Neill.
Oh
Everybody
yeah.
knows the
Yeah.
operator. And
Yeah.
I want to cover it, definitely not to kick the guy while he's down, because I like Rob O'Neill. I got a chance to meet him a couple of times, interview him. I have a book signed by him. His book was great, by the way. Love the operator. I love hearing about him training and listening to Guns N' Roses. But yeah, recently, just this last week before recording this, arrested for assault and public intoxication. I'll give you my, first immediate thoughts where I remember a few years ago, back when Rob came back, put out the book and everything, he got arrested for um public intoxication, or I don't know what the charge was, but he was asleep in his vehicle.
In Montana. It
But
was in Montana, and it was like almost his hometown or something up there. Yeah, I remember
yeah,
that.
and
I remember
he
that.
wasn't driving though. He was like passed out
Yeah.
asleep at like, I think it was like a 7-Eleven or that type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember my immediate feeling was cut the guy some slack. He wasn't driving. Wasn't putting anyone in danger. But then when I heard about like another arrest, you start to think maybe this wasn't his first time, and maybe they did give him a warning. And at a certain point, you got to do something.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like when I hear this happening again and again and again, and unfortunately, it has. My feeling is, I think Rob's a great guy, very accomplished, does a lot of media, but that's the point where you got to just say, all right, I obviously have a problem. You're now in your mid 40s. You're no longer like a young guy who's done with your deploying and all that. It's time to say, yeah, I'm going to take a break from media, social media, and go to rehab and get better. I think, and I mean, I don't know Rob that well. I mean, I've texted with the guy. I know him a little bit. I've interviewed him, but I mean, just as an observer, it looks like he has an alcohol problem.
Yeah, he does. He does. Period. If you're in the community, you've heard. We've all, and I don't know. I'm not buddies with Rob. We know each other. We've seen each. When I used to do the media circuits, we'd run into each other, and we've spoken to the same groups. We're public speaking. He used to do a lot of it. I don't know if he does too much anymore, but if you've run around in the public figure world, within the operator public figure world, we all know who has problems with substances or alcohol, and Rob, that's the word. And yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it as well. Not again, I haven't gone drinking with him, but he does. And I feel sympathy for him, because I understand that. I understand the pressure. I understand the drinking. I drank a ton when I was having my downtime, when I was divorced from Tanya, and when I was still doing a lot of the media. It's like right before you and I sat down, and when I spoke in that place in Atlantic
In New
City.
Jersey.
Yeah, I was right. I was just coming out of it, but it'd been a year of that. And what, I'll whether Rob wants it or not, I'm gonna give him my advice. Like, dude, you got to step away from the spotlight. You can't. That's not us. It becomes an ego thing, and it's not us. You got to pull yourself out of it and get away from it for a year. I remember when we met, I had nuked all my social media. I wasn't doing any more media. It wasn't any more TV stuff.
Which I don't think you have to go that crazy. I think you could just take a break from it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You don't even have to announce it. I like,
No.
You're not a politician. I don't feel like he needs to be like, I'm stepping away to be
No.
with my family.
Well,
you could just not be on and
just
don't do your podcast for a few months. And when you're back to yourself, get back to, and if you want to keep doing media, do it. But yeah.
I think in my opinion, my recommendation would be a year. It's like, dude, take a year, 6 months at least, a year, 2 months. No, you're not stepping away from shit. You're because we gotta get back to what we were when we were deploying, when we were working, and to be that person again. It doesn't mean you can't still be an arrogant asshole. I'm an arrogant asshole sometimes, and I know Rob is too. It's how a lot of us are made. But you want to be that guy when you're deploying, not the guy that public figure sees. And I was going to say that same thing. You beat me to it. And you're spot on. You don't even need to tell anybody. Just like just do it for yourself, and maybe get some therapy, alcohol therapy. I've been to that Omni. Actually, I spoke at that Omni not more than a couple of months ago, right there in Frisco. Did a speaking event there. It's a nice place. Everybody was extremely nice there. The security to me was extremely nice. That was one thing that brother, come on, holy shit. Calling a security guard the N word.
Oh,
I don't give
allegedly, because I also want to say Rob says that never happened. I don't know if there's video of it, and
okay.
but that's also the problem with alcohol
Okay.
too, though, is and you can see from that mugshot, he looks drunk, and I don't think Rob is a racist or anything like that. I don't know if he said, I have no idea. It's one guy's word against the other, unless there's video or something. But
Yeah.
the problem is people do get drunk and then they go, wait, I did that? I didn't, like,
Well,
so I don't know. I mean, if he was drunk, he may have done something and didn't remember. I don't know.
And I don't know Rob extremely well either. Like, but I never saw him as a racist. He never came across to me as a racist either. So
No, not at all.
I didn't. The allegedly did. So it's not. We're not confirming that. Maybe bullshit.
Well,
like
he said on his Instagram, he said two things on his Instagram. Actually, I did see. He said, "I never used that language," and he said the security guard was a white guy. So why would I say that? That's what he said. So,
and you can't trust the fucking media, especially in this woke generation, dude. They'll do anything. But that the Omni, that did seem odd to me. The way it was explained, though, seemed right by the security, because security, they were extremely good. They're nice. It's a great hotel, and the people there extreme. I mean, it's an Omni hotel. You're going to have great customer service at an Omni just because it's a freaking Omni hotel. You're upper echelon hotels, but everybody was just extremely genuine and nice. And when I read, hey, they helped him up to his room. They're just trying to get him back to bed. I could see that at the Omni. Yeah, I could see him being like that. But yeah, if he did say that, dude, come on now, you know better than that. You don't do that. That's horse shit. But in his defense, he never came across to me that way as being a racist either. So, and with the
but
media,
yeah,
who knows?
that's why I think alcohol is such an issue with some people,
Yeah.
man, because you could turn into this person that is not you at all. And for some people, you got to say, I can't do this. It's not good for me. I've heard I've heard the saying before. I don't think he created, but I remember Scott Stapp saying, like, I'm allergic to alcohol because I break out in handcuffs. I've heard that before from a few guys. And guys like that need to, I mean, Scott Stapp it actually is a guy that went kind of nuts for a while. I mean, he was calling, I don't know if you remember, like, it was like probably 10 years ago, where he was calling his son's school saying that there were like bomb threats and Taliban and like an ISIS and all different types of crazy shit.
Scott, is that
he was
Scott
got staff from Creed. Yeah, he was
from
having
Creed.
like psychotic episodes, and he went away for a while, and he seems to be doing good now. And obviously, it's not to that level with Rob O'Neill, but if you have a problem, I think it's funny. I was thinking about this. I did the episode of Justin Blazewski. I always pronounce his last name wrong, but the guy from Vetoga a few months ago. And he talked about, and it's funny because you always make fun of this, but I understand where he was coming from. He was talking about the toxic masculinity thing. He was saying, like, getting into yoga was stepping into his feminine. And he was like, I needed to learn how to be a positive male and not a toxic male. And I think that could be part of things for some guys. I mean, it is in that category. Not everything masculine is obviously toxic masculinity. It's stupid, but there are things in that category. Getting into bar fights, and stuff like that, and then after you've been arrested a number of times, just saying, like, nope, I'm just going to keep going about my life. I'm not going to rehab. Yeah, that's kind of in that category of what you could call toxic masculinity. It is masculine. It is high testosterone, but it's toxic behavior, right? So
it is. It's the Oduo rules complex from Billy Madden. Oduo. If you ever see me on social media, guys, do that Oduo rules tag, that's what I mean. It's a fucking toxic masculinity. But how I fix mine with the alcohol, and now when I go out, I don't that I when I
but
go
you're not an alcoholic.
Not anymore. Not anymore. And I stopped doing that when I started getting my together. And I was never like that. No, you're right. I was never to that extreme, but there was, I was drunk all the time. I just blocked myself in my room. When I go on these speaking events now, I know what my weaknesses are, and I know, I may not go. I go to my room. I have a drink if I'm going to. Just like this last event I did in Omaha last week. Great group called the Revolution Group. Tremendous people. They were awesome. But did the book signing, and they were getting drunk, dude. They're partying, and these corporate, they're drinking, they're partying, and have my drink, sign my books. You want to stay down and drink some? No, I'm going back to my room. And that's what I do. And it kind of sucks because I want to stay down and have a good time. But I also know I don't need any more alcohol. And I did, and I'll give you an example. Florida event I did in Naples 2 months ago. I did stay down and I had a couple extra, and I got belligerent. I got belligerent. I could even tell. I was like, "Holy shit, what did I just say?" And I was like, "Guys, excuse me, I got to get out of here." And I go back to my room. And so I understand where Rob's coming from. I understand. I do. I don't accept it. I don't
Yeah.
want to. I don't condone it at all. In fact, I condemn the hell out of it. But be a man, dude, and say, dude, I can't be down here. Yeah, I may not be the life of the party. So what? I'm going back to my room. I'm going to call my wife. He's married. As far as I know, he still is married. Very pretty woman. Hey, dude, you got a pretty wife at home. Give her a call. Go back. I'll go back to my room. I'll call my wife. I watch a little TV, put on Netflix if I've got the TV, or watch a movie. I'll watch Fletch or something funny, and I'll go to bed. And yeah, it's not the fun times I had back when and when I say fun, I put that in quotation marks, guys. It's not the times hanging out where I'm drinking, partying, and just the life of the party. Everybody's buying you a drink. I don't think I bought myself a drink for 3 years, but it's also I'm doing the right thing. I'm being responsible. I'm not going to end up in a fist fight or not going to end up drunk laying, which I remember, geez, I've been times where I'm drunk. How the did I get here? But that's the right thing to do. Be a man. Go to your room. You know your limitations. Now get to your room, call your wife, go to bed, get up the next morning, get a flight home, and be with your family.
But once again, that's, I think the difference is that's coming from a standpoint of a guy, as you're saying, who you've had slip ups, but you're saying you do know your limitations.
Yeah.
He may be a guy who doesn't know his limitations and needs to go to rehab, right? I mean, because you never had to go to rehab for anything. You've never been arrested for, as far as I know, for public intoxication as an adult, multiple times. And to me, that says to me, you have a serious problem. It's not just like I could stop this myself.
Correct. You are very correct. No, you're extremely correct. I got nothing there, brother. I basically I've been able to staff it, to stem it, and put that tourniquet on that bleed before it got to that point. So now he's got to that point. But he's still got to cut that and let that fester, get all that pus out and get all that infection out, because now he's got to that point. And if he doesn't, he's not going to work in the speaking world ever again. They don't want people like that. If you're a problem like that, you're never going to speak for a corporation again, because they don't want that liability. And you're supposed to be speaking about leadership and integrity and honor. That's what they have military guys come in for. Overcoming adversity, how to deal with obstacles. And if you're getting arrested because you're getting drunk at a bar, and now you're going, do you think Jimmy John's or Burger King or Disney or especially Disney, or any of these execs are going to say, hey, yeah, come on, Rob, we want you to speak to our guys about how to be a great leader? No, you're done. So I'm concerned that I don't think he's going to have really on that end that he's ever going to speak again. And from what I've seen, he's a good speaker. He's got a good story. We've spoken on the same circuits, and that's too bad. And you don't really get second chances in that corporate side. When you burn your bridge there, you're done, because there's a lot of other people that can take your places, from Matt Eversman to Mark Nutch, from the Horse Soldier, Kirk Leopold to other guys like that.
But I actually do think those corporations would understand if he did what you originally said, right? Took a year off, went to rehab, came back a new person. I think there's always redemption for all that type of stuff. But if you're just immediately doing the exact same stuff again, I agree with you. They're not going to feel that way. The last thing I could say about, I don't know if prior to joining the teams, Rob had a drinking problem, but I could understand how it develops, because even from the interviews I had with him, when he came out as the operator, the guy who shot bin Laden, and I know that'll always be a controversial topic among guys in special operations, not so much to the public, but the idea of taking credit for it. Was he the guy who actually took the shot? None of us know, except the guys who were there. We know he was there on that mission. We know all the guys who were on that mission were heroic, but I do know when he came back, he became friends with Kid Rock. He's getting drunk with Kid Rock on Kid Rock's yacht. They hang out all the time. I'm sure there's a lot of fun stuff, man, that you don't want to leave behind because you enjoy it. But when it gets to this point,
But that's not us. We're not rock stars. We shouldn't be rock stars. That's not what you, Rob. I'm talking personally to him. If he hears this, we're not, buddy. We're not. We did what we did, and we're awesome at it. And you should be commended for not just for the bin Laden, just for doing and being part of DEVGRU. all you fuckers that are SEAL Team 6 or the White Sox, you guys, special operations, you all should be commended, because that's hard to get into and it's hard to live that life. But we're not rock stars, and you should, that's my opinion, but we shouldn't want to live that life. That's not us, and we don't need to be looked at. Let the rock stars be the rock stars. You be the operator, right? Operator, you wrote the book about it. You be the operator, and hold you to that standard, which is that highest standard of integrity and honor and duty and all that. And hey, I'm preaching to the choir here. I've had my downfalls too, where I didn't uphold those standards either, and I had to fix my fucking shit. So, but in the ending, done. I know we've beaten this dead horse here. I do have a prayer for. I prayers to him. I want him to get his shit together. I want him to get better, because he is a good role model when he's not being a knucklehead. And I think he's still got a lot of good lessons to teach people in the corporate world, not just there, but just everybody in life in general. Just like a buddy told me, like Ben Morgan, who told me when I was all f***ed up, hey dude, you need to unfuck your shit. Well, I'm telling him right now, you need to unfuck yourself, dude, because the world needs guys like Rob O'Neill that have done stuff. They need the Tim Kennedys. They do. They need that, whether you like them or not. In our world, we're going to fight with each other because we're the alpha dogs, and you're pissing on my tree. But we still need guys like that, because you are a role model. Jocko, you are a role model. He's still doing it right, though, from a business, and he's a great businessman. But we need those guys out there to continue to show and set examples of what the values of the military are. And so I prayers for him, dude. I hope he gets his shit together, because he's a good dude, and he deserves to live a long life riding off in the sunset eventually. But partying with Kid Rock on a yacht is not gonna.
But that's fun. It's fun.
It's
you don't
fun.
need to be doing it all the time.
All the time. You're right. Do it once. You got
I would do it, dude. If Kid Rock invites me to, I don't even drink anymore at all. If Kid Rock invites me to drink on a yacht, I'm coming.
That's it. Do it once. All right, that's it. We're done.
We're done.
We're done, man. Hey, I've been on the Malta looking over the Mediterranean in Michael Bay's private section.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Boogieing with James Masdale and Pablo and all these other. I don't even know who these people were. There was I should post that. I did it. It was cool. It was like a movie, like at a club overseas. It was fun. Done it. Stumbled back to the bar, passed out. I don't even passed out on the floor of the Westin Hotel. Did it. Don't need to do it again. One time's done. Yeah. So cool, boy.
Yeah. So and I will say, man, if I don't know if this will get picked up anywhere. If it does, hopefully Rob listens to it in full context, because I wouldn't want him to think we're covering this and talking shit and just doing clickbait nonsense. I mean, look, a lot of you guys will probably click on it if this gets clipped. But Rob has my cell phone number. I have Rob's cell phone number. He's welcome to come on, as far as I'm concerned, anytime. If anything I said was incorrect, you could come on and
come on and tell. Yeah. He's always welcome. We're not best friends or nothing, but I still consider him a friend. I do, even though we've only met talked a few times. We've traveled in the same circles, and I seriously mean it. All the prayers to him. I want him to succeed. I want him to get better. So, dude, get better. And
I'll tell you one last thing that's really funny, and then we'll get off the Rob O'Neill topic.
Okay.
But when I did meet him, which I have a picture of, maybe Howard could put it up on the screen. Our friend Drew Dwyer came in with a stack of books that he wanted signed by Rob O'Neill, and I swear to you, Drew Dwyer, because he was getting it signed for like charity and stuff. Drew Dwyer held the book like this. He was like, "Hey, Mr. O'Neill, can you sign?"
He said,
and I'm like, "Dude, why are you intimidated right now? Like, it's just Rob, it's just Rob." But
Drew's got his own stories, man. I mean, we've got Drew's stories. I mean, rest in peace, brother. Saint, you're the man. But shit, Drew is.
That is what happened, though. He was very intimidated. I will say.
Dude, if I would have known that when Drew was alive, I would have given him. I would, if he was still with us, brother. As soon as we're done this podcast, I would call him and give him so much shit. But Drew's good, dude. It's good memories with Drew. Drew's he left us way too early, man. Drew's tremendous. Another. Rob, I don't want you to be like that, dude. I'm not that Drew took it. I didn't, but substance, man, and possibly and alcohol. And bud, get your shit together, man. You need to be on this earth for a long, long time and have grandkids and be a good person, spirit spokesperson for us military folks for a long time, man. So get your shit together, buddy.